very scrappy match out there today. How did you feel it played out for your team?
Yeah, obviously we've come away with a 50-point win, so we're very happy with that. Obviously the first quarter and a half was really scrappy, and then I think in the second quarter we got our game going a bit from our pressure, and our forward delivery was really good. We kicked 3 or 4, I think. So third quarter was scrappy, and in the end we kicked 5, I think, in the last quarter. So obviously scrappy, but we're happy to take the 4 points.
And obviously it took the Tigers a good 2.5 quarters because they kicked their first goal in the first quarter. Then it wasn't until the last term when they kicked their next. What can you attribute that to?
Well, last week we were very disappointed with conceding 140 points. So we focused during the week on our defensive actions, and to keep our side to 1 goal for 3 quarters is something the group's really happy with. So going forward, that's going to be our main focus, is restricting the opposition through our defensive pressure. So that's one real big positive we're taking out of today.
And there's been a bit of talk throughout the week about the result from round 3. How much of a, should I say, a rebuild, should I say?
Look, we were disappointed to lose round 3. End of the day, they came away with 4 points. We as a club have moved on since then. We think we've improved. We're getting some personnel back on the park each week. So we didn't use that as motivation. We just really needed to win to get the 4 points for the club to keep our season alive, basically. So we didn't take any motivation from that at all.
And there was a bit of inaccuracy for your team today. I think it was 11 goals, 12. How can you improve that moving forward?
The forwards obviously need to finish off. But I suppose it comes down to where they're having their shots from. Like I don't think we missed too many set shots sort of directly in front. There was a few snaps through scrappy play where we missed. So we need to keep working on a lot of things, and forward kicking goals is an area that we need to. So we've got one of our former good goalkeepers in Chris Joyce coming in this week to help the boys out. So hopefully we'll see an improved showing there next week.
But the spread of goal kickers as well must be pleasing. I think Josh Williamson kicked 3, but that was the game high.
Yeah, I mean, as a forward group, we've said from the start of the season, we're not the type of group that's going to have people that kick bags of 6 and 7. Some weeks it could be Josh kicking his 3, Blake Grant could be the next week, Sean Willis the week after. So we want to become a side that has even contributors through. So one week one bloke will bob up, so the opposition can lock him down. The next week someone else can bob up. So that's a good attribute our forward line has.
And obviously Tim Pedersen played in the development league for the Tigers last week. There was an added focus on him as he was coming back in as their skipper?
Well, we thought he might have played forward, which is where he started, and we thought if he was forward, potentially we had an advantage. If the ball hit the ground, we could run the footy out. So we obviously relied on our mids putting pressure on around the footy, so they didn't get too many clean entries. So I think Hugh Williams did a really good job on him. So we're happy for him to be playing. It's good luck to Tim. He's back in the side, but we're more focused on how we can negate him in an offensive sense.
And you've got Burnie on the road next week.
Yep.
How are you looking for that to negate them?
It's always a tough trip to West Park. Always has been. But we'll go up there as a group full of confidence. We have another good week on the track. We've just got to be positive. If we can play our style of footy up there, I think we can come away with a win. But as I said, you've got to really respect them. They still have the Walters brothers, good players. Proctor's a good player. McKenna's a very good player. So their top end is still very good.
So obviously the lack of goals between the middle half, should I say, the second and third quarter, how can you address that moving forward and improve that?
Look, our forward line entry was pretty putrid today, so our skills under pressure. Yeah, Hobart City did a fantastic job of putting our boys under pressure and right around the ground, and just our movement forward, it was pretty ordinary. We kept on kicking it down to their +1 all the time, which was rather disappointing.
And obviously it's a small ground out here in North Hobart, which probably explains why it was a bit scrappy, but the conditions were very good for football. Were you at all surprised about the scrap that it was?
Yeah, look, it's tighter ground, and obviously we don't play too often on the smaller grounds, but yeah, look, Hobart City played the ground I thought they played pretty well anyway. They did well on the outside as well. And yeah, I think we'll have the ground, but I don't think we won a position today.
Well, so who are your standouts today?
No, didn't have any.
Didn't have any?
No, didn't win a position.
So moving forward for Glenorchy next week, obviously they gave you a bit of a belting on Anzac Day. How do you look forward to them?
Yeah, look, I thought we competed the Glenorchy game for 2.5 quarters. I think they only got us in the halfway through the third quarter. It was about 20 points up until then. Yeah, look, we got some soul searching with some address, and we should have Marcus Davies come back in the side, so he was a late withdrawal today, so we missed him in the middle a bit today. Same with Tobias Gagoglin, he pulled out this morning as well, ill, so that wasn't a good way to start the day, and to just filter through the rest of the day, whether with Davies pulling out made the boys flat, I don't know, but they didn't back up any words that I said last week or anything like that, so I feel a bit let down by the group today, to be honest. Yeah.
And just on the Davies late withdrawal, what was that?
Look, he pulled up, he got a bit of a sore calf last week against Clarence, and pulled up pretty sore from training Thursday night, and we gave it till this morning. He'd been through the physio. It was just, look, we could have played and got through, but risk versus reward. We just thought it was best to give him the week off, and probably the wrong decision, wasn't it?